Okay, welcome to section 3.3. This is the second installment of the adding and subtracting fractions. This time we're going to be talking about different denominators. So the first example I have is 2/3 plus 1/2. So what we need to do is we need to figure out what our common denominator is. Now most of us can go ahead and picture that it should be 6, and that is correct. Okay, but then what do we need to do? Well, to get 6 from 3, you have to multiply. So what times 3 it gives us 6? It's 2. So if you multiply the bottom by 2, you have to multiply the top by 2. So 2 times 3 is 6. On the top, 2 times 2 is 4. Okay, same thing over here. 2 times what gives you 6? Well, in this case, I know it's 3. So then I have to multiply the top by 3 because we're trying to figure out what the equivalence of 1/2 is. So 2 times 3 is 6. 1 times 3 is 3. So see, the 3/6 is the same as 1/2. We're reducing it. So what we're doing is we're trying to find the equivalence. So then you go ahead and you add the top. 4 plus 3 is 7 over 6. This is the correct answer. Now, there's a new way I'm going to introduce as well, and I'm still using the same problem, but I'm going to show us a method I call a nuclear reaction. Okay, so here's what we do. You cross multiply. You always start with, because we read from left to right, you always start with the numerator that's on the top of the left fraction, so which is 2. So 2 times 2. Now we've got our addition symbol I'm going to leave right in the middle. But then I'm going to go ahead and I want to say, okay, 1 times 3. And then finally, I'm going to multiply the bottom 3 times 2. So it's the same kind of method as this, but we're just doing everything at once. So 2 times 2 is 4. 1 times 3 is 3. And 3 times 2 is 6. We add those together, look what we get. We get the exact same 7 over 6 is what we did with the first method. And with math, I really do not care which method you use. It's just whichever one that you feel comfortable with. Now, on my next example, I'm going to show us both methods. And then I want to start, after that, doing my nuclear reaction. Because in the past, most of my students like this method better, so I'm going to continue to work on that. Now, at any point in this video, like I've said before, stop it, pause it, see how I'm doing it, and come back just to see how we're doing. Okay? Next fraction. Okay? It's 3/4 plus 2/5. So I look at 4 and 5 and I'm thinking, okay, I need a 20. So how do I get a 20 from 4? 4 times what is 20? Well, it's 5. And a lot of times you can see if you can multiply both denominators to get that number. And that always works. It may not be the simplest common denominator, but at least it is a common denominator. So if you multiply the bottom by 5, you have to multiply the top. So 5 times 3 is 15. Then 5 times 4 gives me 20. So I have to multiply the top by 4, which is 8. Then I'm going to add this up, and I get 23 over 20. Now my little side box here, I'm going to still work on 3/4 plus 2/5. Cross multiply 3 times 5. My addition symbol. So So now if this was a subtraction symbol, you'd put a subtraction, not an addition. Then I'm going to do 2 times 4. You can also do 4 times 2. I mean, if you think about it, 4 times 2, 2 times 4 is the same. And then I'm going to put it over my 4 times 5. Now, 3 times 5 is 15, plus 2 times 4 is 8. And I'm going to put it over 4 times 5. 4 times 5 is 20. So when I add these up, you should get 23 over 20. Now watch out, because depending on what kind of homework or test or the problem, this is what we've learned about. This is an improper fraction. It may want you to put it in a mixed number as well. Okay, number 3. Now I've got 3 halves plus 4 over 5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go ahead and say 3 times 5 plus 4 . 4 times 2 . And then I want to say my final thing will be 2 times 5. So then I'd say, okay, 3 times 5 is 15, plus 4 times 2 is 8, over 2 times 5 is 10. This comes out to be 23 over 10. Okay, my next one, 2 times 4 plus, then I do 3 times 11, which is 33, and put it over this 11 times 4. This is 8 plus 33 over 44, which if you add 8 and 33, you get 41 over 44. And that's our answer. And it cannot be reduced because there's nothing that can go into it. Now we got a subtraction. Now this is where that subtraction sign comes into play, and when you have to do this cross multiplication just perfectly. So what I want to do is I want to take, this is 7 times 3. This is not 7 times negative 3. It's 7 plus 3, and then you have your minus sign. That is your minus sign. Then you have 4 times 8. And then 8 times 3. So 7 times 3 is 21, minus 4 times 8, which is 32, over 8 times 3, which is 24. So this gives you 21 minus 32 is negative 11 over 24. Same concept, 2 times 9 minus 8 times 5 over 5 times 9. So 2 times 9 is 18, minus 8 times 5 is 40, over 5 times 9 is 45. So then 18 minus 40 is a negative 22 over 45. And that's as far as we can get it. Now, what happens if both of them are negative? Well, now this means that now you treat this 2 as a negative 2 times 4. We still have our minus sign, but then I also have this 5 times 3 over 3 times 4, which we put on the bottom. So negative 2 times 4 is negative 8, minus 5 times 3 is 15 over 12. So now we combine our negative 8 and negative 15 to get negative 23 over 12. And that will be my answer unless if it tells me to put it in a mixed number. Which I'll kind of go ahead and just, on this one, I'm going to just go ahead and show you what the mixed number would look like. So it would be negative, because the fraction is negative, 12 goes into 21 or 23 one time. And what you'll do is you'll have an 11 remainder and then our denominator. And to check this, you could say 12 times 1, which is 12, plus 11 is 23, and it's negative. So this right here is the mixed number. Now finally, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show us, technically, when you have a negative 4 sevenths plus negative 8 over 1, really there's a 1 there. So we can just go ahead and make this now a negative 4 sevenths minus 8 ninths. Then I say negative 4 times 9 minus 8 times 7 over 7 times 9, which gives me negative 36 minus 56 over 63. Combine those, that should give you a negative 92 over 63. Now, my previous video, I was trying to make an example, and I just kind of botched it up and kind of lost track of my mind. But let's just say that was negative 90 over 63. Okay? Now, if you have the computer program, or maybe you turn this in as a test or a homework assignment or a worksheet or even a quiz, and the answer is wrong because you haven't simplified this. What I mean by that, you can divide both by 3, and this would be negative 30 over 21. So be cautious on, and I just showed you this right here because that's a perfect example of us not reducing it all the way. Thank you for listening.